Welcome to the Solo Investor. Today, we're breaking down your first business acquisition and why going small might actually be your biggest advantage. Starting a business can be a daunting experience, not because the opportunity isn't there, but because everything feels uncertain. Where do you start? How much do you invest? What if it fails? So, naturally, many people look for a shortcut. Instead of building from zero, they decide to buy something that already exists, a business with revenue, customers, cash flow, and for the most part, this can be the smarter move. However, as you will soon see, this can lead to another bump on the road. But then a new question appears. If you're going to buy a business, should you go big? Should you aim for something that replaces your income immediately? Or is there a better way to start? The truth is far less exciting and far more powerful. Your first acquisition should not be big. It should be small, deliberately small, because the goal of your first deal is not wealth, it's capability. Most first time buyers make the same mistake. They chase a large revenue, or better yet, passive income without an active role. They think this should be the perfect business, but they forget one thing. You're not just buying a business, you're stepping into a role you've never played before. And that role is not passive, it's operational, messy, unpredictable. You're dealing with real customers, real employees, real problems every single day. Things don't always go as planned, and when they don't, you're the one responsible for fixing it. The bigger the business, the more moving parts you inherit, and the more expensive your mistakes become. A small business does something powerful. It exposes you to reality. Revenue doesn't show up evenly. Expenses don't stay predictable, and systems don't always hold. You start to see where things actually break, where time is lost, where money leaks, and for the first time, cash flow stops being a number on a screen and becomes something you have to manage daily. Your first deal is not a test, it's a transformation. You stop asking, how much will this make me? And start asking, what will this force me to become? Because once you own something, everything changes. You're no longer observing from the outside, you're responsible on the inside, and that shift is where real growth begins. If pricing is wrong, you feel it immediately. If a customer leaves, you notice it. If something breaks, you fix it. There's no buffer, no layer between you and the outcome. Just you making decisions that have real consequences. And that pressure changes how you think. You stop guessing, you stop delaying, you start paying attention to the details that actually matter because now every decision affects something real. And that's the real advantage. Feedback becomes immediate. You don't wait months to understand what works. You see it almost instantly. A small change in pricing, a shift in how you operate, a decision you make today shows up in your results within days, sometimes even hours. And over time, that speed of learning compounds. What used to take years to understand now takes weeks, and that becomes your edge. You begin to see what others miss, what actually drives revenue, what quietly destroys margins, what looks efficient but isn't. You stop focusing on what sounds good and start focusing on what works. This is where intuition forms, not from theory, but from experience. If you're building with a system like an investment policy statement, this becomes clear. Your first deal isn't the destination, it's the foundation. Because the goal isn't just to own a business, it's to become someone who can allocate capital with confidence. After one real operating experience, you stop guessing. You stop chasing perfect deals. You start seeing risk before it happens. And that's when the transformation takes place. Because now you're not just participating in opportunities, you understand them. The first deal won't make you wealthy, but it will teach you how wealth is actually built. And once you understand that, you don't chase opportunities, you start seeing real ones. And over time, you don't just find deals, you create them. Thanks for watching. This is the solo investor.